And I think we're live. Hello, hello. Clara, you're here.
I'm here. Hello, everyone.
I hope that we have managed to get this live stream up and running. We are so excited to be coming in live. We've got some people coming in and talking to us in the chat. Let's see if they can hear us. If you can hear us, say hi. Yay! So, important things that you should know, guys. We are on a 1 minute delay. So, we're 1 minute in the future, which means that we're going to read your comments 1 minute after you post them. And we are so excited to be here. I'm Lala. And who else have we got coming in live?
I'm Clara. Hello, everyone.
Clara.
Hi, guys, and I'm Corey.
Corey, fantastic. So before we get started and jumping right into people's questions, let's maybe tell them a little bit about who we are and why we're answering them. What do you think? Who would like to kick us off?
I will.
Volunteers. Go for it.
Hi, guys, I'm Corey. I am an experienced leader with Unsettled. Right now, I'm reporting live from Medellin, Colombia, where I'm currently leading my second group here in the city. I just finished with the August group, and now we're in September. I started leading retreats for Unsettled around the beginning of the year after I finished a 2-year contract with the United States Peace Corps as a primary school teacher in Botswana. I decided to move there after about 5 years of sitting behind a desk and wondering, if there was anything more for me out there, and well, I haven't looked back since.
Fantastic. I love it. I love your story. And you have the best wildlife pictures too. What about Clara?
Oh, yeah.
You want to give us a little intro to the wonderful world of you?
Yes, of course. Well, hi, everybody. I'm Clara, and I'm tuning from Buenos Aires, Argentina. I did Unsettled as a participant, actually, 1 year ago in Bali. So shout outs to all the Bali crew if they're there. I joined Unsettled last year when I was in transition. I left my job at the Ministry of Culture and I started traveling to Southeast Asia, and I did my first Unsettled trip over there. And 1 year later, here I am, part of the experience team, and very, very happy to be here with all of you. So passing on to the third host, Lala.
Yes, it's me, Lala here. Corey's calling in from Medellin, Clara's calling in from Buenos Aires, and I am calling in from, of all places, Beirut in Lebanon. So you can imagine it was a technical feat to get us all synced up. I'm so happy to be here live with you. My role at Unsettled is I'm the head of experience. And what that basically means is that I have the amazing job of designing what it looks like to live unsettled and what are all the different ways we embrace the unknown. This job has had me living unsettled myself for the past year and a half as well, all over the world. And like Clara, my favorite part has been getting to be on trips with people and getting to be with our incredible groups in everywhere from Bali to Barcelona and Porto to Peru. So yes, that's my little mini introduction. Let's tell you a little bit why we're here. I think that would be good. Clara, Corey, why are we here? What are we doing?
Well, we're here to answer your questions. For the past 2 weeks, you've been sending us your curious questions, inquisitive insights, nosy thoughts, and we are here to make sure that you guys get your answers.
Exactly. And every single day we get asked questions about our retreats, our destinations, experiences, and about Unsettled in general. So we thought, why not jump online and answer all of your questions live and share a little bit about Unsettled with our extended family, and that's you.
Yeah, so for about the next 20 minutes or so, we're going to be going through your questions and sharing with you what it's like to live unsettled. We have had questions coming in, as Corey mentioned, for the past 2 weeks, but we also want to get a chance to answer stuff live. So we have a lovely chat window. I think it's that way. Maybe it's that way. And feel free to put your live chat questions in there. We have our ever lovely Shatika, who's in there chatting with you, and we'll be answering them and sending some of them to us to answer. So let's dive in. I think that we're going to spend maybe some time at the end getting to live questions. Let's start with some of the great ones we already have. Who has an interesting question to ask?
Okay, I have one. This came in from Facebook, from Mazen Afi, and he asked, what does unsettled mean? Lala?
Ooh, do I get to take this one? Seeing as
Yes,
this is part of my
It's
job.
a big question.
It's a big question. We're just starting off big out of the gate. Gosh,
Yeah.
what does unsettled mean? Unsettled for us means, well, I think first of all, unsettled can mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people. But unsettled to us, this is an experiential travel and living company. And it's for anyone who is really looking to break out of their routine, get inspired, and to grow. And while it looks like a travel retreat on the surface, we really like to think of it as a platform and a process that lets people explore what it means to live in today's world. A world where we've never had more options, we've never had more choices in how we live, how we work, how we adventure. So living unsettled means to kind of embark on that journey, to take the ultimate creative challenge and really think about what does it look like to design your life and your experience. How's that for what unsettled means?
I couldn't have said it better myself.
Okay, do I get to ask a question now?
Yeah.
I have a good one that I think, is a nice little follow-up. So if that's what unsettled means, Tiana86 would like to know, how does it work? And will I have enough downtime to do what I want to do or travel alone without the group? Basically, what does it actually look like to live unsettled?
Well,
Corey, you want to jump on this one?
Yeah, I'm on a retreat right now, so I can tell you exactly what it looks like. Overall, the most important thing is that the unsettled experience is your experience, which means that essentially you get to take on the ultimate creative challenge. You get to create and live your best life, and that's what it means to live unsettled. We take you out of your routine for many people and bring you to a new inspiring destination with an inspiring group of people. So what does that look like on the ground? There is light structure. We have a monthly calendar with a few optional activities that we have throughout the month. And you get to choose how you spend your time and your energy. It's completely up to you. You can join to curate your own experience, or you can go off and explore somewhere else. There's lots of downtime or little downtime. It's completely up to you how you want to contribute to this community here. Yeah, I think that answers it. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I love that. Yes, that's true. Light structure, lots of choice, lots and lots of opportunities and potential. I think that's what we really like. All the potential and opportunities that we can think of, and then everything else that the group can come up with together, and that each location has to offer. So, does this mean that now, Corey, you get to ask somebody a question?
Based on the pattern, I think it's my turn. I've been waiting patiently.
Go for it.
I have one from Valeria Vagabond, and she wants to know, why is it worth it? Can I spend less money to do it on my own in the same location within the same time frame? Who wants to answer that one?
Ooh, that's a great one. Clara, you want to take a shot at it?
Yes. So I think this is a very great question, and I think that this type of experiences, like, there's no money in the world that can be worth, like spending time with people, with different people from all around the world, living together with purpose, living boldly. And I think it's the experiential part, as Lala said, right? Like, we're an experiential company, and it's about these travels. It's about experience and being together. And of course, you can be in the same location and spend the amount of money that you want in doing maybe less things. But I think that the value here, it's in people and the experience. What do you think, Lala?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that you can go anywhere in the world, and there's so many ways to show up in a place and to experience it and to travel. But there's an African quote, proverb that I love that I think is applicable here, and that is, if you want to go fast, go alone. And if you want to go far, go together. And I think that that really informs our philosophy here, which is this idea that we're going to go further when we're together, and that the whole experience gets magnified when you're getting to experience it through the lens of the community that you're with. Plus, you know, we find cool stuff. Like, we go on the hunt to look for cool stuff, and we try to look for stuff that has never existed before. We love original creations. So that's definitely part of the Unsettled experience that I don't know if you can put a price tag on that or find that easily on, you know, on some maybe more structured experience. You get to make what you want of it, and that creates something that is intrinsically yours in value. So I love that. Does this mean I get to ask a question now? Can I sneak my way into it?
Go for it.
Fine, fine.
Is it your turn? I think it might be.
Go, go, go. You go. It's okay.
Well, we talked a little bit about how we like to show up, and I think I can see some great questions coming in the live chat about some of the most embarrassing things that have ever happened. I'd love to throw out a question related to this. What is one of the most embarrassing things that has ever happened? And also, maybe, what is one of the most unique things that's ever happened on the experience, since we're talking about the unique way that Unsettled likes to explore places?
Whew, wow. Those are big questions. Actually, I had sort of an embarrassing thing happen to me last night. We went out into a group dinner. It was one of those cooperative restaurant groups. It was you know, there was one building with a bunch of restaurants inside, so everyone got to choose their own options. I ordered a drink for myself to decide, so I could buy some time to decide what I wanted to order and from where. And I accidentally ordered, because I'm still struggling with Spanish, but I'm getting a lot better, an entire pitcher of margaritas for myself. And because I didn't understand that the word jarro meant pitcher. So it was sort of an embarrassing moment for me. But it led to some fun sharing of pitchers over a nice taco dinner. So that was a lot of fun. I'll let Clara maybe talk about the unique experiences of Unsettled.
Yes, I would say that a unique experience for me was exactly last month when I went with a group to Machu Picchu. Actually, I have been there to Cusco actually 10 years ago, and there was a mudflow, and I could never make it to Machu Picchu, and this was like my opportunity and my chance to be there. And I think the uniqueness was the group, being there in community with the group, and the energy that we felt all together, like finally reaching there, seeing those ruins, and that it's just majestic. And I think that the value and the uniqueness is being with people that wants to share the same things with you at that time, right?
Yeah, another really unique thing that I think we did in that moment, because everyone, you know, has heard of Machu Picchu, but we also went on a really incredible hike. That's another pilgrimage in the Sacred Valley called Señor del Huanca, which is much less known. And we were the only people on that entire trail, save for the one small town that we walked through. So I felt like that was a really unique place to be with you know, our other participants, and I was happy to be able to share that special place, just for us. We're getting some great live questions, guys. I think let's throw a few of these in as we're going, because they're really good ones. So Juan Diego is asking if the adventure activities are included in the fee for each program. And I think that this is a really great question. You know, what's included, what's not. So we always try to include a few things. There's some things that we do that are very particular, that are not everyone's interest, and so we'll make those a little bit more optional. And then there's some things that only some people are interested in, and those are just suggested, and maybe those will have an extra cost, or you do them if you want, or maybe there's a few opportunities throughout the retreat to do them. So there's a variety, but there's always some included stuff and some optional stuff and some suggested stuff. And I think, as we've talked about together before, like, people come up with really cool stuff as well to present to the group. Clara, you guys have done some fun, spontaneous things in Buenos Aires, right?
Yes, we've done a lot of spontaneous things in Buenos Aires. And I think one of the favorite ones is going to the Delta Tigre, like here in Buenos Aires. And I think that no one knows that we have a delta in here in Buenos Aires, and that we have this kind of amazing rivers when you can just go for the weekend and spend a whole weekend in a cabin and being there and chilling. And I think this is one of the things of like the contrast, right? Like you have this crazy big hectic city, and then you can just go for a weekend into the river and just chill for a while. So yes, we've done a lot of crazy things and unique things. What about you, Corey?
Yeah, actually, last month here in Medellin was the Fiera de las Flores, which is the big flower festival in Medellin. It's the biggest festival all year. About 60% of all flowers that you can buy in the United States, which is where I'm from, come from Colombia, actually. So they like to celebrate this industry. And we have a location manager here on site, a local, who helps us with our bookings and making sure people are feeling comfortable in the community. And he was able to give us access to be in the Chiva parade. A Chiva is a very old school bus that is painted very ornamentally, and it has huge speakers all over that blast really loud music. So all of our participants got an opportunity to join the Chiva parade for one day, and everyone had an absolute blast, both watching them and being in the parade. That was a pretty cool pop-up experience that we provided.
Oh man, that looked so fun. I remember seeing the pictures from that.
Yeah.
That was exciting. Okay, let's keep going and let's talk a little bit. We've got lots of questions that related to who is this for, who's coming, etc. So I have one for you guys.
Yeah.
Tipsy Soul wants to know, can you tell me about the types of people who'll be on the trip? Like what do they do, what countries are they from, etc. So do we have some stats and statistics on our awesome community of unsettlers?
Yeah, these guys come from everywhere, everywhere. So far, I think we've had over 70 countries represented on our Unsettled trips, which is insane. We've got so much diversity of people who are coming. And what else, Claire? What are the ages of people?
Yes, we've got ages like from 20 to 75. And also like lots of different backgrounds. I don't know, Corey, if this and Lala, this happened to you, but there's so much diversity within a group of 15, 20, 25 people. Like I had people like, I don't know, experts in vitro fertilization, and then experts in climate change, writers, artists, like so much diversity, right?
Yeah, we have a hypnotherapist this month. Just from all backgrounds, all walks of life, including those who are transitioning in between jobs. They always have such a unique and interesting perspective to offer in workshops and events throughout the month.
Definitely. And, you know, I think there's one common thread that kind of ties across all of this diversity, and that is, you know, at the heart of what we do is a community of people who they refuse to settle. They are unsettled, and they believe that feeling unsettled can be a positive thing in your life. That's a positive impetus for change, for innovation, for discovery, for growth. You know, these are people who want to embrace the unknown. They want to kind of face and overcome fears. They want to sit down and question and reflect on what their life is about and what their experiences are. They definitely want to push their own boundaries. And I think these stories, you know, they inspire us. They kind of, we like to say, they get at the heart of what it means to be human. And this is what, you know, people have in common, even though age, nationality, background, experience, etc. might be so different. So I'm sorry I'm like taking charge of all the questions, but another great question that I saw come in from Leanne McKenzie was, is there an age limit for joining Unsettled? She says she just turned 30. It looks amazing. We also had Elsabe DT, who asked, is there an age for joining Unsettled? What can you tell us about age limits or lack thereof?
No, there's definitely not age limits. And I think, and we all think that it depends on how old or how young you feel, right? And it's about that it's about experiencing, and it's about diversity, but we definitely don't have an age limit.
No, no, and Leanne Mackenzie, I also just turned 30, and I fit right in. It's we have a huge diversity of ages and experiences of participants here that join us each month, and everyone contributes something unique and incredible every month, no, without question.
Yeah.
But I like that we're on diversity, actually, because I have a diversity question that came in earlier this week. May I ask it?
Go for it. Hit us with a diversity question.
Yeah, I love these diversity questions. Ferry Asani asks, do you have any women who wear hijabs? Is it safe, or do you face discrimination issues? It's a great question.
Oh, I love that question so much. You know, the reality is that people wear whatever they want on a trip. They wear all kinds of things for all kinds of reasons. And really, when you come to live unsettled, you're not taking a break from your regular life. You're bringing your whole life and your whole self with you. Right, Clara? Like we want people to show up with all of their routines, all of their habits, their whole selves.
Yes, and like what we want is for you to be who you are, right? Like the person you are when you are everywhere in the world back home with, as Lala said, like with your beliefs, your practices and everything. And I think we have zero tolerance like regarding disrespect, right? And we kind of talk about this sort of at the beginning of every retreat.
Yeah,
right,
we do talk about this. We have a non-negotiable policy when it comes to respect, and that means respecting where we're going, who we're going with, and respecting each person's individual choices that they want to make, and creating an environment where we can share our thoughts, share our opinions, share our experiences, agree to disagree, agree to agree, you know, that can kind of hold space for all of that. I would say, you know, less related to that, but just in general, like we are going out into the real world, and we are aiming to push our comfort zones, to push our boundaries, and to push our preconceived notions and ideas. So at the end of the day, we love diversity on our trips, whatever that means. And I actually saw a great question come in live kind of related to this. Yes, Natasha asked, what do you look for when selecting participants for a retreat? So guys, what do we look for? What do we like besides diversity?
Yeah, we obviously like diversity. So some things that we look for, and probably the most important thing is the acceptance of this idea of community. That as a community, we can build something unique and beautiful together. You know, like Lala was talking about earlier, the types of people who join Unsettled are people who have committed to this principle of living unsettled, of that embracing the unknown is one of the most important philosophies in life, that there is no growth without confronting your fears, confronting the unknown, confronting things that are irregular and abnormal to you. So one of the greatest things that we look for are people who are just ready to learn from one another and teach one another, and do so in an inspiring destination that they respect and admire. How's that?
Yeah, I love it. Clara, what do you say you know we like to look for in participants? What do you think makes for a good unsettled fit?
I would say that maybe people that are not like looking for a vacation, you know, like that are looking at Unsettled to be on vacation and to be by themselves, I think. And as we all know, like Unsettled, we like to call our experiences as breaking your routine, right? And it's being you, as we said before, but in a different place with different people. It's definitely not a vacation, and it's about living, as Corey said, right? It's living with intent, living purposely, and living fully. And I think that's also a very important thing, that people that just are willing to live fully with us for a month, 2 weeks, a week, or how long the retreat is. How about you, Lala? What do you think?
Well, I like to use the word fit because I think it really comes down to fit. And fit means it's going to be the right fit for you and it's going to be the right fit for us. And we really, that can be a lot of different shapes, a lot of different sizes, a lot of different perspectives and point of view. I think it's good to know, what a retreat environment is conducive for. Like if you want to just be alone the entire time, then maybe that's not going to be so comfortable when you have a group of 25 interesting people to get to know. If you have to be locked up in a room on your computer and are not able to go out and explore, maybe that's not going to be such a comfortable fit for when you're in a place that you have new and exciting things that you want to engage with. So I like to think about fit. And the amazing thing about fit is, what might not fit one time can fit at another time and so on. I think we definitely see some trends in our participants. I would say our average age is kind of like mid 30s and 40s, so we definitely tend to skew then. A lot of our participants are really curious. They're interested in engaging with people. They're very reflective and insightful. Just all kinds of interesting things can make for a good fit. But I definitely like to think of it as fit. That's what we look for, so that people can get the most out of what the time that they're putting into living Unsettled. And who else has some good questions? I see there's some great questions coming in live as well. Anybody have a great question they want to go for?
I have a great question that came in also last week from Tikisha. She is saying, I'm interested in visiting Peru, but how do you guys do it differently at Unsettled, especially Lima? Is there anything to do there for 3 whole weeks? Okay, so I can answer the Lima part if you guys want, and then
you were just there. You just spent 3 weeks living in Lima in July, so I think you should definitely answer the Lima part.
There are so many things to do in Lima. Like Lima has an amazing food scene, first and foremost. Like 3 of the top 50 restaurants are in Lima. So I think you can spend whole 3 weeks eating and enjoying like great food. There's also a lot of art, a lot of culture, surfing. There are a lot of activities. You can just go on a weekend trip to the desert of Huacachina. There's so many things to do, and there's a lot of variety. But I think art, culture, and food are like sort of the main points for Lima, right? Lala, what do you think?
Yes, definitely. I think in Peru and how we do it differently and how we approach a lot of our destinations is that we really want to live there. So we want to live there and really experience what it's like. So we have routines. This isn't check stuff off of your tourist bucket list. This is like really engage, get to know, explore, uncover for yourself what a place will look like. I see some great questions coming in too that might be worth asking. Somebody asked, do you think this is a real question? Patrick Elliott 1 wants to know when we're offering retreats to Mars. Any thoughts on that? Don't answer that one. In fact, let's talk about where we are offering some retreats. What are some of the great destinations that we're going to in 2019?
Medellin again. We're going to be in Bali again. We're going to be in Buenos Aires. Have very cool destinations.
Very exciting. Somebody asked if there's anything in India. There is nothing in India for us yet, but we have put a bunch of feelers out. We've looked at some beautiful spots there in the subcontinent, and I think we're really excited to explore new places. Living Unsettled is very much an approach and a mindset, and so we really want to test this out in as many places as we can and really go for it.
Yeah. Speaking of locations, we've had a question come in twice from 2 different people. Jenna and Jillian asked, are there any retreat locations that are better or worse for productivity? They said that they work full-time remotely, so they're location independent, and they're curious if certain locations are better than others for getting work done. Clara, do you want to take this one? It looks like maybe Lala's indisposed.
I think so. We have our monthly, like our regular month Unsettled retreats in cities where you can, of course, have like your space where you want to be productive. We try to provide always like a co-working space or a space for you to be there and to be, as I said before, productive. But we also have certain like adventure trips or trips that, of course, are like a week or maybe 2 weeks that are not like oriented to working and being productive. So yes, I think there is a difference. I believe there are cities like maybe Buenos Aires, Medellin, Lima also. But what you need to take into consideration, for example, in Peru, we have, it's like a 3-week retreat and then an adventure week, which is dedicated to adventure. And we also have the Amazon trip, which is dedicated to adventure. Right, Corey?
Yeah, that's absolutely right. And I think the most important things to remember are we don't restrict our retreat specifically to people who are working remotely. Anyone is able to join our retreat. So if you are a person who works remotely and you know, do depend on 40-hour work weeks anywhere else in the world, there are some things that will pop up from time to time during the day, depending on the calendars. And new events pop up all the time, and some of them happen in the afternoon. So just a big thing to keep in mind is that when you come, that there will always be a group of people who are working full time. There will always be a group of people who are not. And one of the biggest things about these retreats is being able to decide for yourself, you know, what is important? Why am I here? Being able to reconnect with your purpose and your intent. And it's a pretty empowering decision to make sometimes.
Yes, definitely. It's about setting goals, right?
Yeah.
Setting goals for these kind of trips. Okay,
Yeah.
so do we have any more questions? I think we have a lot of questions, right?
I think we do. I think we got time for a couple more.
Okay.
Oh, here's a good one for you, Clara.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. Also, Jillian asked us, how does the program deal with like personality conflicts, sometimes maybe some drama that might arise within the group? How do we take care of that?
Yeah, so, and I think we said that before about respect and about tolerance, right? We kind of, at the beginning of our retreats, we have some sessions where we get together and we discuss which are our principles, which are our values, and which are the things that we want to honor when we are all together. And I think all the people that join us, we are all adults, and we like to say that, of course, adult rules apply, right? But we always have to keep in mind respect and honor each other, right?
Yeah, exactly right. And everyone in our retreat is you know, an adult, and if conflicts come up as they sometimes do, it's important to remember that it's a personal thing. It's subjective, and it's an intimate situation, and we try to empower the individuals who are joining us on retreats to confront those issues themselves, because sometimes those unsettling conflicts can be at the heart of your personal growth. It looks like we got Lala back. Lala, you back?
Hi, I'm back. I'm back. Sorry about that. I
Incredible.
had to take a mini break, apparently. I missed the beginning of that, but I'm going to second everything Corey said, which is, you know, we're coming to these experiences as fully formed adults with all the tools that we need and capacity, you know, abilities that we need to sort out anything. And it's okay if it takes a little bit of adjustment or work to figure out how to best.
Amen. Amen.
Yes. Yes, I think we lost Lala again.
Okay, I think we got time for let's do 2 questions, and then I think we'll wrap up and say goodbye. How's that sound?
Sounds perfecto.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, I have one from Mustafa Hariri 87.
Okay.
That says he's asking, and also Nadia also, how can I join? Yes, to join us, it's very easy. You just need to get to our website, look for the destination that you want to apply for, and fill an application. And then we will reach out to you in order to have a small call and get to know each other a little bit and see where are you at right now in life. And yes, and so that's it. It's very, very easy. Just get into our website.
Yeah, all the information, including retreat costs and the basics of what we provide, are available on the website. So go over, as soon as we're done with our live chat, jump over to beunsettled.co and sign up for a retreat today.
Yes, perfect.
Okay.
And we have Lala back, I think, for our last question.
Yeah. Okay. So let's say we've done the retreats. We're finished. We had an amazing time. How do you keep the community going for alumni? Are there ways for alumni to interact with you, with each other after a retreat, or does everyone just say goodbye and never see each other again?
I would be happy to start answering this one, and then you guys can share your thoughts. But while we like to say, because it's so true, you know, time and attention are finite, but love is infinite. And so, you know, while Unsettled might be just 2 weeks or a month, being Unsettled and having your Unsettled family really is for life. This is both within the Unsettled alumni community and also just with the connections you make on your trip. So I'm actually here in Lebanon right now visiting with 4 or 5 of our alumni outside of Beirut. We had a get-together the other day with 14 people there. That ranged from retreats that were last month to a year ago. I still to this day talk to every single one of the retreats that I've been on. We still have a place to communicate. We have an alumni Facebook group that's really active, and the potential, the possibilities are endless for connection. What do you guys think? What's your experience been?
Yeah, absolutely. Here in Medellin, for example, we've had a few alumni who have been so inspired by the city that they've decided to rent some apartments here themselves. And they, from time to time, will come back and say hello to the new participants or get together with one another. Throughout our time together, we spend so much with each other. We share so much with each other. I mean. And there are some pretty intimate and valuable moments in getting to know one each other, and that's not something that is easily dismissed. So whether it be through WhatsApp or email or face-to-face connection, the friends that you make in Unsettled, some of them will be your friends for life, and that is something that we try to support and embrace.
Yeah, definitely. Somebody asked me the question that's kind of relevant to that. I know we're wrapping up really soon, but Francesco asked, can you come in and pop in and say hello if there's an event in your area? We have alumni events a lot in many different places, and those are always open to curious community members or future community members. When we're running a retreat, we have some activities that we do just us that are really special for the people who are on that retreat to partake in. And then we have other things that are more open. We have networking events and panels and sometimes family dinners where it's great to invite a friend or invite a visitor. So I would say reach out to us. There's so many more good questions. There've been so many great questions. Hopefully we'll get a chance to do this again sometime. Any last thoughts or questions you think we need to squeeze in? Otherwise, let's point people in a direction where they can get more info outside of this little chat.
That's a great plug. That's a great plug. The best place to go to for info is, of course, our website, beunsettled.co. beunsettled.co. It should have all the information that you need, and if not, you can find my email address, you can find Lala's email address, Clara's email address there, and feel free to reach out to someone from the team, and we would be more than happy to respond to any of your questions. So please come say hello.
Yeah, well, come say hello. I was just going to say you can email us anytime at hello@beunsettled.co. That's a great place to put any question or thought you might have. There's tons of information on the website. Clara, any last minute tips for getting questions answered?
No. If you have, and as Lala and Corey said, if you have questions, just reach out. We are a team dedicated to answer your questions. So just don't hesitate in reaching out.
And in fact, if you are interested in applying for, say, our Buenos Aires retreats coming up in October, November, you might even get a chance to have an admissions call with Clara and get to have some one-on-one question FaceTime with her, because every person that applies that's interested in joining us does get an interview call where we get to know you and you get a chance to get to know us. So, you know, general questions, doing this live chat has been awesome, but we do also want to take time to get to know you one-on-one and answer your specific questions. How's your calendar looking, Clara? Busy?
Quite busy, but please, I would love to show everyone my city. So please reach out.
Okay, guys, let's wrap this up. Thank you so much for hanging in there with technical issues. Thank you so much for your questions.
Thanks, everyone. It was so much fun. And thank you.
Yeah, it was a blast. Now I'm off to go lead a workshop here in Medellin. So I hope everyone has a great morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. And thanks for tuning in with us.
Awesome. I'm about to go sit down to a delicious Lebanese dinner with some of our fantastic Lebanese alumni. Team Lebanon. Woohoo. Clara, you?
Nice. I'm about to go on a walk here. The sun is shining. Buenos Aires is getting into the spring finally. So yes, I'm just going to go enjoy some sun here around Palermo.
Okay, have a great day, everyone. Thanks so much. Bye.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.